Om Shanti and welcome.
Thank you.
Today we are going to talk about being a great donor. So first of all, tell us, who can really be a donor?
If we ponder, we will find that a donor is the one who is not a receiver. A beggar cannot be a donor. In a sense, God Almighty is the real and the supreme donor, because everyone seeks from God relief from suffering, mercy, liberation, etc. Anything that people don't get in this world, they seek from God. So God is the greatest donor. In this world, Father, teacher and Guru are donors, because Father doesn't have any intention or desire to get anything from the child, and Father brings up and sustains his children. Teacher also educates the children to bring out their qualities and make them educated. Guru blesses the people. So all the three, they don't have any selfish motive in the sense what they give is much more than they get. They hardly need anything. They only want the honor or the feeling that my son, my student and my follower, they have become great people. Also in this world, there are people who donate by, say, making schools, hospitals. So those who make schools as a charity, they get good brain or wisdom in the next birth. And those who make hospitals, they become healthy. So this is the process of donation or charity and getting the reward of it.
What is the difference between being a donor and being a great donor?
In Hindi, there are two words, daan and punya. So daan means donation or charity. In charity or donation, what we have surplus we give. Say a person is distributing clothes to the poor. So this will be called donation. And say there is one of the poor people who is very thirsty. A great donor will give him water first and then give him the donation. So the idea is that if a donor donates his surplus, and a great donor, he gives what the receiver is in need of.
Brahma Baba was perhaps the greatest donor next to Shiv Baba, next to God. And you had the great fortune of being in Brahma Baba's company for many years. Can you share your experience of him, of being a great donor?
Yes, I had the great fortune of being with Brahma Baba from 1955 till he left body on 18th January 1969. What I found was that from the moment Brahma Baba became God's instrument, he made the greatest possible sacrifice a human being can make. In Bharat, we have got three words, Tyag, Tapasya and Seva. He was embodiment of all the three. Tyag means sacrifice, and the moment God made him, Shiva Baba made him his instrument, he donated or surrendered all his movable and immovable property, all physical assets, to a committee which of females, mothers and sisters, which he formed, and decided that he will be a trustee throughout his life. And then tapasya means that he, right from that moment, he never looked back, and constantly and throughout for all those 1936 to 69, he maintained that sacrifice for the good of the people. So much so that all his time, all his comforts, all that he acquired from Shiv Baba through meditation in the form of virtues and powers, everything was for others, for the service of the people. So his service was also unlimited, meant for all without any limitation whatsoever. So therefore, tyag, tapasya means constantness, and then seva of the whole humanity. That was his objective. So this he maintained. Now, other thing is, I found him that he was so simple. In the worldly life, he was a famous diamond merchant, but as soon as he surrendered and became God's instrument, he was so simple, and his aim was to be an example in simplicity, extremely simple. And then also, he had constant connection with God Shiva, so that whatever he spoke was actually, even his own words, they had the power of God's power. So therefore, he collected so much energy, he became like a powerhouse, lighthouse and might house. He always remained light. He had all the powers, the power to mold, power to judge, the power to discriminate, all those powers. So he will meet everyone according to that person's status. He will meet a child as a child, a poor man as a poor man, and he gave such feeling of ownness, that is to say oneness, that everybody once he saw them, so they became like, so much attracted to him like a magnet. So I also felt that even his thoughts were so powerful that they were like blessings to you. Thoughts and words, they became like boons and blessings. Even any statement for any individual will become a lifetime blessing for that person. So whatever he will say, we will like, magical influence, we will follow that. And it flew from him by his own example. He practiced everything on himself and then passed on to us.
We BKs are all donors in some way, number-wise. What are the subtle barriers or challenges to becoming a great donor?
Well, it's a big subject, but to make it concise, it is I consciousness. A donor donates and has to forget. But if in a subtle way, if a person has the feeling or keeps in mind the consciousness of I donated, because all donation is made in the name of God. And then we forget. There is no selfish interest involved like Brahma Baba. But if somehow my own qualities or my own whatever thing I donate, if there is I consciousness, it brings ego. And that nullifies, cancels, and to a great extent takes away all the benefits that a donation gives. So if I remove I-ness, that it is not I, it is my good fortune that I am getting God's power and Brahma Baba's inspiration to donate, then I can become a great donor.
And so finally, what are your final thoughts on how to become a great donor?
You see, in a subtle sense, as I told you earlier, God alone is the real donor. So therefore, we have to connect with God And Brahma Baba, God, we will say God is God, I can't be God, I am a human being with all my limitations. So Brahma Baba is the human example of the greatest donor. He was in physical body like us, and still he maintained that quality of donating to all without any limitation or discrimination, donating without any self-interest at all. Even the joy of donation or the feeling of donation is also sacrificed. So, if we remain in that consciousness that I am getting the power from God to donate. In fact, what are we to donate? That is very important to know. We are not here to donate clothes or money and etc. that other philanthropists in the world are doing. What people are in need of, because the great donor will donate what we are in need of. Today, people are in need of real, true peace. They are in need of power, real inner power. Then they are in need of contentment. They are so dissatisfied. They are in need of relief from stress. So these are all subtle things. So if God can relieve all of these things only God can relieve. And because the basic thing behind all these things is impurity. So if the soul becomes pure, it becomes powerful. Then every thought of its will become fulfilled. Presently, we don't have willpower. We have only wish power. So that spiritual power of each thought being fulfilled, as was in the case of Brahma Baba, his thought became a blessing. So for that purpose, we have to become pure. And only God can purify the soul of, as you said, the barriers. One barrier was ego. Then there are other barriers also, like anger, greed, attachment, lust. So all these barriers, if are removed, then we become true donors. So long as those are not fully removed, we remain donor number-wise.
So in a sense, we can conclude that when we become pure with our connection with Shiv Baba, and that is when we really become the great donors.
And we have to constantly remain in meditation or called spiritual love link with Shiv Baba through Brahma Baba. Then of course we will be constantly donating, and we will be like great donors because we are giving what people actually need. You know, say there is a flood or a natural calamity, all people go for giving relief. So they are giving medicines, food, clothes, etc., shelter. But the Brahma Kumaris also go there to give them mental peace, which is very important at that time. So the whole world, what is needed, that we have to give through vibrations, because we are unable to meet people personally. So creating such purity that it vibrates, that is why I said Brahma Baba was like a lighthouse and might house. It giving to others, and we feel that we live for giving only, then we become great donors.
Thank you so much for clarifying this subject of being a great donor. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.